first things first. I put way too much coffee in this morning. We are moving this away, so it is far away from my
I'll do the intro because I have something very important to say. She's Jenna Wolf. I'm Nick Wright. This is Chris Canty. I haven't seen Chris Canty since Sunday. Chris Canty.
We're still alive,
We're
Nick.
2 games away, baby. Chris Canty and I,
Randolph.
yes, had Packers Chiefs.
I know.
In the Super Bowl with the Chiefs winning it as a preseason prediction, and we might have both put a little financial investment in it.
Oh, that I did not know.
We may have.
You got sucked into his vortex of gambling and putting too much money.
Now that I'm on the show a little bit more. Now it feels like we're more like teammates.
All right, well, we are going to talk about the NFC title game and the AFC title game, but we are excited for this morning. There is only one place to start, and it's the game before they get to the NFL. It is the last college football game of the season, and it was a good one. It was especially good if your name is Joe Burrow. The Heisman Trophy winner led LSU to a 42-25 win over Clemson for the 4th national title in school history. And Burrow had a night to remember, pass for 463 yards to go along with 6 total touchdowns. The kid from Ohio will be forever remembered as a Louisiana legend. Canny, let's start with you on this and spin it forward. Is Joe Burrow a clear-cut, can't-miss NFL star?
Well, I can't say that he's a can't-miss NFL star because he's most likely going to go to the Cincinnati Bengals, and not a lot of high draft picks in Cincinnati end up realizing their full potential. But what Joe Burrow has done this season is nothing short of amazing, and then putting his team in position to be able to compete and win the national championship in the same year where he wins the Heisman and sets the single-season record for most passing touchdowns. That's as impressive as we've seen from any quarterback in recent memory in college football. So what this LSU Tigers team has been able to do this entire season, I mean, just to be as dominant as they have been. They started out with a game down in Texas against a top 10 opponent, and it was a little bit of a back and forth in the first half, but I think they showed that they were going to be a different offense this year, just the level of explosiveness that they were going to have. And then the job that Ed Orgeron has done, being able to go out and get Steve Esmiger and Joe Brady to revolutionize that offensive attack and taking advantage of the 5-star recruits that they have been stockpiling down in Baton Rouge. When you have Jamar Chase and you have Justin Jefferson and you have Terrence Mitchell and you had Clyde Edwards-Helaire, I mean, when you have that kind of talent with your skill positions and then you have a player that has the football IQ like Joe Burrow, I mean, that's a deadly combination, and they rode that all the way to a national championship.
I want to start with this. I'm incredibly happy for Coach O. I'm happy for those kids at LSU. Coach O was laughed at when he got this job, and he has never changed who he is. He's never code switched. He's never done anything. He's been who he is, and now he's an undefeated national champion, the coach of one of the, by the way, this is the first team in at least recent memory, maybe ever, to go 4-0 against the preseason AP top 4. They beat Alabama, Ohio State, Georgia, and Clemson. And by the way, they beat them by an average of 21 points. I didn't think they were going to win yesterday. I thought Clemson had been flying under the radar, winners of 29 straight, and they won mostly because Joe Burrow was sensational again. What did he have? 14 touchdowns in the college football playoff alone. He just finished one of the greatest single seasons in the history of the sport. I have to give him full credit. To answer your question, I say all that to say this. To answer your question, Jenna, I don't think he's the best quarterback coming out this year. I think Tua is going to be a better pro than Burrow. I think the other kid on the field last night is the, even though he didn't play well, is the can't miss. If in 2 years from now in that draft, if I had the number 2 pick, I would trade the number 2 pick and my whole draft to move up 1 spot to get sunshine, Trevor Lawrence. I don't think Joe Burrow is going to fail in the NFL, but my concerns are a number of them. One is, it is a 1-year wonder situation. Now, you can say, Cam Newton was the same thing, but Cam only played 1 year of major college football, 1 national title in junior college. We have seen Dwayne Haskins only played 1 year, but he only was great for 1 year, but he only played 1 year. Joe Burrow played last season and was not extraordinary until the bowl game against UCF throughout the course of that season. Joe Burrow also is, as we've talked about this year, older than Lamar Jackson. He'll be a 24-year-old rookie. And when I watch him, Canty, aside from he is very, very accurate, and I wonder how much of that is college windows, how much of that's Joe Brady, and how much of that's him. I don't know what he does great. I don't think he has really any weaknesses. I think he's a B or above at everything, but is he an A at anything? Is he an A athlete? No, he's a good athlete. Does he have A arm strength? No, he doesn't have the arm strength of Justin Herbert, who's coming out in this class, or even Eason, the kid from Washington. But he has good arm strength. He is very accurate, and his teammates seem to really like him. To me, NFL star, I don't see it. I don't think he is the type of guy where, like when Andrew Luck was coming out, for me, when Trevor Lawrence comes out next year, that the #1 pick of the draft is a franchise changer. I think he's more in the Sam Darnold category. Probably going to have a solid NFL career, but I don't know about superstar.
I think a better comp would probably be Daniel Jones coming out of Duke. You know, he probably has a limited ceiling, but he has a higher floor than most prospects because he's coached up well and he has a high football IQ. The one thing I will say about Joe Burrow that I think separates him from the other quarterbacks in college football is just his ability to be able to process information and make decisions quickly. And you saw that last night going up against Clemson. Just some of the things that he saw, being able to identify where he wanted to go with the football pre-snap and then being able to get it there. Now, I'm agreeing with you. When you're taking somebody that high in the draft, you want them to have dominant physical traits. I really don't see that from Joe Burrow, but I do see adequate enough arm talent. I do see adequate enough accuracy. You do see the mobility. You saw that third down draw that he ran right before the half that led to a touchdown score, and they go up by 11 points at the halftime. Like being able to just move around, functional movement within the pocket, the ability to be able to extend plays and convert first downs with your legs when you need them. You have to have that in today's game. But in terms of Joe Burrow's success at the next level, I mean, it's really about the situation that he's going to be put into, and the supporting cast in Cincinnati is just not there. You can make an argument that he has better skill position players now in LSU than he's going to have in Cincinnati.
Well, that was going to be my question. How much better does he look because he's basically surrounded by NFL players right now at the college level?
And to his credit, and our great statistician Dusty made this point for the show, and it's a good one, LSU has had studs at the skill positions for a long time and has never done this. I mean,
they had Jarvis Landry and Odell Beckham at the same time.
They had Dwayne Bowe years ago. They've had quality running backs there. They've never had the quarterback. And again, Joe Burrow won the Heisman, deserved it. He broke Tua's single-season efficiency record that Tua broke from Baker Mayfield. That record keeps getting broken, by the way, year after year now, as the passing game becomes the dominant way to move the ball in college football even. But I'm not making this comp because it's the Bengals, but to me, when I watch him, even if physically they don't look alike, there's a lot of, I think it's kind of a rich man's Andy Dalton. A guy, and Andy Dalton became a punchline. That's not fair. Andy Dalton was solid at almost everything. I think Joe Burrow is good at almost everything. I don't think he's great at anything. And at least that I've seen. And again, I hate knocking the guy right now. He's going to be the #1 pick. He's going to be very wealthy and very successful. So he'll be able to deal with it. But when you look at the best quarterbacks in football right now, all of them are elite at least one thing. Russell Wilson, it's the intangibles and the escapability. Patrick Mahomes, it's the arm talent and the arm angles. Aaron Rodgers, by the way, same type of thing. Go down the list. Deshaun Watson was not a one-year wonder. Deshaun Watson, every year he started at Clemson, he was tremendous. I watch Joe and I say, I think he'll be good. I think he'll be good, and if I was drafting 6th, like the Giants were with Daniel Jones, I'd be thrilled to take him. At #1, I really wish Tua would have been healthy. Because if I'm the Cincinnati Bengals and Tua doesn't break his hip, to me it's a very, very easy, clear-cut decision. I'll take Tua Tagovailoa, who I think is elite at a number of things.
It's interesting you brought up Andy Dalton because in the year that the Bengals drafted him, he wasn't their first-round pick. They took A.J. Green because A.J. Green was a better player. So Cincinnati's on the clock. We'll see what they do.
All right, big win for LSU. An incredible night at Joe Burrow to cap an incredible season from the LSU Tigers. Coming up, let's get to the NFL now. Should the Chiefs be on upset alert against Tennessee? That's next on FS1.
My coffee out.
You can always check us out on the Fox Sports channel on SiriusXM. We'll be right back.
I almost choked, Jenna.
Yeah, right there, buddy.